So this is the first time that I've had the opportunity to watch you swim. Um, the first thing I notice is that you tend to be breathing a little bit late. And how I know you're breathing late is because your leading arm is dropping down while your head is still turned to breathe, which is forcing you to rotate the hips more than is really optimal. Right here you can see what I'm talking about. Um, your kick looks pretty good. Your reach looks good. You swim nice and tall. I'd like to see you keep your legs a little bit closer together when you rotate onto your side, because right now you're actually using them to balance with a little tiny bit, which isn't really optimal for a good body position. The next big issue that I see with your swim stroke is that you tend to bring that elbow in close to the body, which you can see here, which means you're slipping your arm through the water instead of really grabbing the water. And that's something we talked a lot about when we met. You really have to keep that elbow high and bent and keep your arms much closer to your body. As you can see from the video, your arm is pretty deep in the water. Most of the time you're pushing straight down instead of pulling back. Here you see where your elbow is close to your body. When the elbow is close to the body, it's just slipping your arm through. On the one side, your right arm, you tend to not complete your catch either. I just did a quick video from above the water as well, just so that we could have a look at your high elbows and body position. You've got nice high elbows. Ideally, your hand is always below your elbow at every point in your stroke. And right here is no different. Your hand is below your elbow the entire time. Elbows coming out of the water first, something else I'm looking for. So your above the water stroke looks really pretty good. But as we both know, it's really what's going on underneath the water that makes a big difference. Here you can really see that left arm, elbow coming in close to the body, arm just slipping through the water, not grabbing any water at all. Also, you can see how you're balancing with your legs a little far apart. I mentioned later about keeping the ankles a little bit more flexed or toes pointed. Floppy ankles. Here, looking at your stroke from the front, you see how wide your arm is, very far away from your body on both sides, which isn't giving you any power. And that's the biggest point I think that I need to make, is that your catch is really lacking. You weren't grabbing the water. You had no power through the water. And that only has to do with technique, nothing else. Here's a little later on in the session where I had you use the pull buoy and really work on bending your arms. While your arms were definitely bent more, we were talking about chicken wings, kind of keeping your elbows out away from your body. If you had laser beams on the end of your elbows should be pointing lasers at the sides of the pool. You are not quite there yet, but definitely seeing a little bit more bend here, and you're getting your hands in closer to your body, which is good. I also noticed with the pull buoy, you're not rotating nearly as much when you're going to breathe. Of course, you breathe on one side only. I'd like to see you work on breathing on both sides, or being able to breathe on both sides if you need to in a rough water race. Here again, definitely getting that arm a lot closer to your body, which is going to be very important. But as you see at the beginning part of the stroke, you reach in, you're kind of pushing down still and then bending the arm. We'll work more on that later. If I could get you to bend your arm a good bit more over the next few weeks before your first race, and possibly work on the breathing. I'll give you some drills for that. The breathing timing, I think you'll see a significant improvement pretty quickly. Thank you for letting me work with you.